in Shadow. Um, and everybody else. Let me just open my drink and have a little smoke check to read each other. Bardlock Moses, good to see you. Fucking faster in here than I am. And Bleacher, Lasty. Always a pleasure, my friend. Oh, I haven't even chopped up my wage yet. What am I doing? This might be a slightly shorter stream. But if so, I'm very likely to come back for another stream later on. It's really nice weather here at the moment. I woke up and it was see, Scabby Chicks. Drop me a line if you need some point, Scabby. I've been wanting to just touch base with you for a little while. Let me grab my straw. Yeah, it's I managed to sleep in. Like I've been saying, I'm trying to get human nighttime nocturnal sleeping patterns to some extent. And I managed to stay in bed until like fucking 7 o'clock AM today. I'm really proud. But that's why I still sound a bit congested and nasally. So I've really just woken up. Woke up and it was just muggy and warm, but I could hear like distant thunder rolling across the place. It's like, fuck yeah, I think it's gonna rain today. And since then it has started raining, nice big fat drops, like heavy rain and stuff. It's really nice out there. I like miserable weather, so part of it comes down to growing up in a small family business at times and being free labour. If it's wet and raining and storming outside, then you can't go fill potholes in roads or concrete fucking sheds or anything like that. Actually, I did some concrete shed in the rain on the floor. Yeah, my parents did a wonderful, responsible job of instilling in me a hatred of slave labour. Annie Bean, good to see you. Slapped this before. It's hard to mention where Dave lives without people thinking you're using it as an excuse. Good to see you, Owen. Cupcake with platypus. Everyone's here. Needs a fun history. Fun history fact for the day. Fun history hack. I think everybody needs a fun history hack as well, actually. A fun history fact for the day. Go a couple of reasons and seasons. So we still have exports to the US, do we? That kind of was like, I wasn't sure if that was still a thing anymore. It's all well and good to get drunk and yell at your partner once, maybe twice a week. But I feel like this is 2 days in a row. Oh wow, fire check. Smoke check. Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So, rumblings of Caesar in chat. Is this, has Trump been talking about being president for life again or something? Why don't I notice anymore? Yeah. Every day. I am an alcoholic myself, kitten cupcakes, so good. Thank you for saying that, because it makes me feel a lot better about it's hard for me. I've been that person before, and it's hard for me to be sympathetic to it, you know, and you deserve better no matter what. And it's fucked up that it's the age-old story of material conditions keeping people in a fucking unsafe and untenable fucking situation. I don't want to put you on the spot. Part of me wants to ask more questions, but I don't want to put you on the spot and all the rest of it. But if you do need more direct support and it would be good if you can, not saying share in it in Discord, but please do let people know if there's things that we can assist with in any way to try and facilitate you being able to move towards even changing your material conditions, but again, there's going to be a lot of different factors that I don't even want to presume ignorantly. I used to struggle with a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to give a fake reference. You put my number on that CV and I'll tell them, no, when Kit Cupcake was in Adelaide, Australia, they definitely worked for me and also lived in a house that I owned. Just fucking hire them, you assholes. Yeah, and this is only been why I get angry that we're constantly undermining social services and shit like this, and there's a thing where, you know how every year the military has to blow out its budget, right? And they have to spend all this money because they want to justify having it there the next year? On a micro scale compared to the fucking bank bill for that, is every single little service in communities, whether they're state-based, federal, or anything like that. It can just be city-based services or other groups doing it, but they all end up getting some amount of funding, ideally, from your taxes. It's to some extent, and it's fine to waste fucking billions and billions of dollars in ordinances every year to insist that we need to build more and we need to pay for more each year. We need those fucking big numbers on the fucking budgets for war. But whenever it comes to like just, you know, making sure that people aren't fucking dying on the streets or starving in a supposedly successful modern country, there's all these arguments to be made for like, oh, well, nobody uses it and it's underutilized, and because we made it so difficult to access and people can't actually access it, that shows that we don't really need it anymore. And it's like, no, it's fucking bullshit. The very first things that we should be doing as successful communities and successful societies, if we have any right to even fucking pretend like we're functional, is taking care of the most vulnerable people in the community. And that doesn't mean the people that are always the most vulnerable. It means all of us at any time life turns around, because, you know, the cliche right now of material conditions, the fucking bank balance and all the rest of it, what is it, $600 is a life-changing expense that most people can't afford, which is fucking bullshit. But there, but for the grace of God go you. It's like fucking, if you don't use what services are available to you locally, whether you feel like you need them or not, if you're entitled to them and you don't make use of them, your lack of engagement, unfortunately, is used to take those services away from the most vulnerable and desperate people in the times when they need them. In Australia, we have got, and this isn't a government-run thing or anything necessarily, it's just something that people made for themselves. I'm just going to switch over. If you can, do what you can to find out in your local areas what organisations might be compiling lists like this, making guides for people, and if they don't exist, try to start making them yourselves, network with people the best you can, and try to compile these resources. The government's not going to do it for you, nobody else is going to do it for you, but other people, other community members will have done it. This is useless to a lot of you people. If you build a shitty bridge and it collapses, you go to court to explain why. Same thing should happen to players of our step. Thank you. Fucking so beautifully put on. There should be fucking ethical, community, fiduciary, criminal responsibilities on the people who aim to fucking quote-unquote organise and manage our economic systems, like. But yeah, this, I bring it up occasionally, ask Izzy, just because, like I say, governments aren't necessarily going to do it for you. If you can network with people, if you can share information, if you can get enough information together to start trying to help each other with them. This list, it covers basically everything that a person struggling is going to need, and it basically just gives you resources in your local areas to try and find. And it's even, this is crazy the way they've updated it, it's no longer just a list, like it helps you literally pass through all of the different conditions and shit that can be placed in different this, again, it's not something that's necessarily been fucking like, yeah, info exchange. Non-profit that's been working for 3 decades, because obviously governments are not going to fucking do it for you. Oh, he's doing movie reviews on it. Oh, is he just uploading? It's called Control. It's just been all Star Wars or Star Trek or some bullshit on there lately, so I've just been... Guys, I haven't even had my smoke yet. Like... Great, so he's ready. Is this why he was asking about Germans winning the war? Oh, life. Oh, I need to live. Spirit check. I'm a fucking moron sometimes, guys. I do, like, so I'm really sensitive to like opioids and anything like that. I didn't take painkillers at all for the most part when I was young, and I used to be a scooter boy at a 16-inch wheel with like 16-inch tires, big scooter and all that, push-along scooter. Oh, sure, sorry, mate. I haven't checked the yeah, see, that's it. I haven't checked any of the levels or anything. Yeah, so I push myself around everywhere on a scooter, but then it sort of fucked up my hip a little bit, and I was in heaps of pain, and my sister was like, oh, I've got a bunch of like Panadol 4 here. And like basically there's shit in the stuff that turns into like fucking basically morphine when it's in your stomach sort of thing or whatever. And I've woke up with like my entire digestive tract sort of shut down and pressing against my lungs, and I could barely, like, I'm going trying to get each breath, and I'm like, oh no, I'm dying, what have I done? So I like rolled out of bed, landed on the floor, and I like dragged myself with one fucking hand into the kitchen going lying on the floor there. My sister comes in like, oh no, he's dying, and she starts fucking slapping on my chest, and I'm lying there like, no, stop hitting me. But a bit like an ambulance gets called out, and like by the time they get there, my body's just sort of starting to move some things in it again, and it's like, and I'm slowly like breathing a little bit better, but just as the ambulance get there, my gut goes and I had to run to the toilet, and so the ambulance is there like, are you dying, mate? And I'm like, no, sorry, I think I just needed a really good shit. And it's like, but just my sister's beating on my fucking chest like, don't die, and I'm like, stop, you're killing me. But yeah, it was quite embarrassing. It's just because, you know, morphine, opioids and all that kind of shit, they can affect the digestive system quite a bit, and I'm very sensitive to it, so there's a free story for you. I was probably 18 or 19 or something. When my sister and I had a house together when we were young. $65 fucking LH. You're a fucking champion, mate. That's insane. I nearly managed to fuck you all over last night, because I did come back for one of my later streams, but for some reason the Twitch app on my phone, it just won't. Now that I've learned to rotate the screen, as soon as I rotate it, it fritzes out the entire app, and then the app even tried to fuck up my phone yesterday. You didn't get me when I was in Port, yeah. You're fucking watching Donnie tuning in. Yeah, so I was actually trying to do a bit of a garden stream yesterday evening. It was called like, don't worry, I'll save the VOD so you don't lose your streaks and stuff like this. But then, yeah, it wouldn't work for me, so I fucking spent 20 minutes fucking about, and I cracked the shit, so I'm like, fine, we're not doing a garden stream. My husband has some work parts and stop bringing it, just, Yeah, I think my sister thought she was doing a sternum rub, but she was a bit concerned, and it was less of a rub. But yeah, it's so pissed that I left a mark on his chest ripped out. I mean, what's he supposed to know? He was asleep. All he knows is that you may as well have been like giving him a haircut while he was asleep. That's not fair. Not a pill guy, planning force to it. Yeah, I never even really took mild painkillers. So my body sort of wasn't accustomed to any of them. I'll just worry, let's go eat. Alright, sorry guys, it is the morning. You're hearing all of the morning clearing out of me. I can't believe Dave watched this dude again, but didn't finish watching his video. I think we accidentally managed to sit through the entire... Yeah, we did. That was supposed to be on for like a few minutes. So where is this... So it's mostly an East Coast based. I was just seeing if they had any I'm having a lumber. Apparently I'll stop talking mid-sentence. Yeah. That's so as an alcoholic I had I would drink with a lot of old ladies and stuff at times as well, because I used to hang out with my aunt who was like 100 years old. So I had a slight penchant for benzos and booze. The good old vodka and Valium mix brought out some interesting stuff. Usually it's like, because blacking out drunk is one thing, but blacking out drunk while you're still walking around moving and talking and thinking you're having a good night is another thing. So yeah, like, luckily I'm usually in relatively good spirits, but like in those cases, but it's like, yeah, they're the mornings where you wake up and you like get in touch with people like, oh hey, how are you feeling? And like then you just got to sort of like work out what the responses mean, like. Drink responsibly, chat. I'd love to move to Switzerland where my parents are. That. Alright, we have got a bunch of stuff available to us if we need it. Not yet sure. Is he still live? Nope, not live and the video's unavailable. Part of the reason that I did jump in and go live was because this dickhead was live in a actual proper live video, not just one of these weird dumb ones that he does, but he's always ashamed of the performance he gives and deletes it straight away. Like, anytime. Like, this is the hands down the stupidest apologist I've seen possibly ever, but at least in a long time. Like, I still cannot quite get into my head that this guy is sincere. To me, it's like this is an unnecessary and terrible, badly performed parody or something. Like, you don't need to lampoon Christians, they do it well enough themselves. And yet this guy is, well, yeah, there's a short video here, a 5-minute one, but I don't know if it's going to be. Are you done yet, dog? You've been chewing on yourself for a little while there, and you finished? He's so soft and fluffy, and he smells like, I don't know, shea butter or some shit. I don't know, one of those things that make human people smell good. The dog smells edible. Global Peace and Antichrist. Dave Hunt, Global Peace and the Rise of Antichrist, presented by yourname.org. This is only 5 minutes, so if it turns out to be content, we'll watch the whole thing. But, it'll give you an idea of how fucking stupid this guy is.
So what if the road to world peace was actually a trap?
Nope, he's doing AI videos.
I mean, the idea that peace itself...
Anytime you hear an AI video like this, right?
Scale. So how does this deception actually work? Well, it's...
You can guarantee that the man behind it is fucking someone like this. Little Jimmy Brown. He does a lot of sitting around bullshit going on.
Lifelong fear of the Lord.
I just realised I still got the speaks on the headset.
In Israel and their descendants, while they inhabit the land. In 1 Kings 8, chapter 40, or verse 40, Solomon echoes this exact idea in his prayer, asking God to grant that outcome as a result of his mercy and discipline, so that people would maintain.
Oh, you don't even need to list attributes
their time in the land promised to Abraham,
AVGN,
Isaac, and Jacob,
or of James Rolfe.
So the link shows continuity in God's desire.
Because it all comes down to the very most basic
entering the land to Solomon's prayer.
Dave tries, but forgets is simply not true. Where AVGN is a character. Like, whereas Dave himself as a person lacks character. Like, he can't even have character as his own individual human being, let alone create another one for... Oh shit, I'm already out of snoozes. How is this? Sorry, guys. Alright. What tunes have we got? We'll put on some tunes for a minute. We'll do this silly ad break, and then, alright, I'm gonna listen to porno music. What do you mean swearing in alcoholism isn't a personality? You're about to reach a 3-stream watch streak on Iron Gullet's channel. Should we just steal Iron Gullet content, chat? Look, we can just Still can't. We don't even need to be our extremes, chat. Check it out, that's medium. I'm Iron Gullet. All along, I've been fucking with your chat, running a cunning ruse. I've actually been Iron Gullet in disguise, putting on an accent. I'm getting confused now, I don't know where's my stream. As long as Iron Gullet doesn't suddenly go to my stream. So this is porno music, but it's getting really epic now. Like, what the hell's going on in a scene where we're... Alright, enough content found. So, alright, this isn't something we're gonna watch, but just have a look at this chat. This is a full Joseph Watson's second channel. I just want to point out the, yeah, that was a bush reveal. Perfect. That's why suddenly it was like this high-flying, fucking wide, broad noises fucking flying through the clouds. Everything got epic when that bush came out. Yes, okay, Ash, you're already onto it. We're not watching anything here because nobody gives a fuck what this loser's got to say. But we all know Paul Joseph Watson. Like, we know what he looks like. He's a dweeb. He's this guy. And yet, if we go up here, what the fuck is this AI? This is how Paul Joseph Watson sees himself. What the fuck? Is that not the most cursed, scuffed, fucked up little freak of a picture you've ever seen? Why would you do this to yourself? He literally looks better as his own person. This is like... He looks unwell, but it's like... This looks like somebody taking the piss out of you, isn't it? Like... Buddy. Okay, I see you're licking your lips. I agree, it probably is breakfast time. Yeah, I know. You've got your chunkers in the fridge. You want your chunkers? Okay, you don't need to get too worked up. We can sort this out. I'm just gonna get him his chunkers, chat. What's it, buddy? You want any cutie? You want a cutie? He's just staring into his... Sorry guys, I probably should have fixed that. But yeah, that's all I had to say on this, is have a look at this dude. What a dickhead. Where were we, P-Mars? Did I just... Well, fuck it. You can have some biscuits.
Hi everybody, welcome back.
Wait,
Today
what the fuck is this? You're some... You're not our... Alright, I didn't look, chat. I just saw, like, how to make Kingston biscuits, Aussie favourite. And I saw Aussie, and I'm like, oh, it's our friend, Aussie girl can cook. So I clicked on it, and this isn't her. This woman's not riding an esky. What the fuck is this? I'm disappointed. I guess we can listen to what she's got to say, but like, look at this bullshit. It's all so fake and yuppie as well. Like, where's the live, laugh, love shit picture? So fucking. This woman's never made chow mein before in her life. This is a fucking fake trade life.
Making Kingston biscuits. Arnott's Kingston biscuits.
Every time.
Well,
followed maybe by the Monte Carlos
Let's get started.
Ethel.
Now in my bowl, I've already put the 130 grams of plain flour. We're just using plain flour today, all-purpose flour.
Yeah, get to the point.
And to that, I've added.
Why aren't you writing an esky?
Fine oats. Now I didn't have any fine oats this morning, so
nobody
I
likes
just took
you.
My rolled oats and just whiz them in my whiz for a couple of pulses, and we have fine oats.
Yeah, the orange ones are always
minute
last.
Oats, whatever we call them. Now to that, I'm adding my 60 grams of fine coconut. Same thing, if you only have shredded coconut or not fine coconut, just blitz it, same thing. And then we're adding our 150 grams of sugar. And then a quarter of a teaspoon of salt.
This is
and then just give that
so lifeless. This is what because this ain't some big channel, this ain't some big professional lady. I'm jokingly being a bit rude to her. I hope that she has all the success in the world and all the rest of it. But this is what happens when amateurs try to emulate the cliched tropes of a packaged performance bullshit. Like she's trying to do all of the things right and professional and all of that, and it's like, just be yourself, dude. Like it's fucking every time everybody tries to do a bland, soulless emulation of a corporate like package type bullshit. I've got to show some professionalism. I need, branding that's consistent and all this. It just dilutes what YouTube has anything decent about it from the whole, and that's why I do love that fucking, there's every chance that this other cooking woman that we watched, the Australian one, she might be a real dipshit. She's fucking... Like, we might find out that she's got a bunch of reprehensible fucking views. Whatever. The point is that it's like, she's got a fun little channel that's like, yeah, she's riding a fucking esky. Like, she can get away with a lot. She's a good world mate. And when we find out that she's a cunt, fine, we'll reevaluate. But whatever. At least she's not boring trying to do a fucking... Like, you're not Better Homes and Gardens, you're not... Catriona Roundtree? I haven't watched television for at least a decade, okay? So I'm not good at... Please insert some topical, local, relevant reference in here that's a mild insult about trying to be a bland, wishy-washy television personality type vibe on your goddamn little YouTube channel.
Just whisk it through, make sure it's all mixed, and then just set that to the side.
There's nothing wrong with what she's doing here. It's just so fucking...
Now we have 115 grams of butter. Now just pop that in. And then I have a quarter of a cup.
Like, and another thing is, like, when I talk about that other Aussie can cook lady, overt displays of cloying, stereotyped culturalism or nationalism or anything like that is always a trigger for me. Like, I cannot stand Australians that try to act Australian, like, you know. But she's not putting it on. She's just being a genuine person, is the thing. So it's like it rings true. And instead of being instantly just weird to me, it's just a person having their fun doing their shit, like, you know.
Of golden syrup. Look at this stuff. Don't you love it? I love golden syrup. When I met my husband, he introduced me to white bread with good butter and golden syrup. Oh, if you haven't had it, you should try it. But be warned, it's very thickly. Okay, now I'm going to put that on the stove. I'm just going to heat it through enough to melt the butter. I don't want to boil it or overheat it, just enough to melt it through. So I'll bring that back, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. Bicarb soda, baking soda. I call it baking soda. So we'll add that after we heat this. I'll come back. Okay, so that's all melted through. It's nice. It's warm. It's not hot. I've just melted it. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
Oh, I'm so bored.
Just a teaspoon. I'm putting these ones in the oven and make them a little bit smaller. Now, while they finish
this one is
cooling,
ruining
I'm going to melt my chocolate.
Kinstons for the international audience.
Now, in a perfect world, we'll do a water bath. I'll put some water in my pot. You find a little bowl, pop it on the top, boil the water, melt your chocolate.
Our queen would have had it done by now. Alright, here he is. I found him. You don't need to watch much of this guy. He's not live now, so it doesn't matter. It's just I'll give you a little taste so you know how...
There for his dwelling, and there you shall come.
This is like Dave as a Christian
Exodus
levels
20,
of argumentation.
24, Deuteronomy 12:11.
Here he's getting... Is he talking to someone?
Deuteronomy 12:5's command. Bring offerings, tithes, exclusively to...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Okay.
Anyways.
Oh, guys, I saw something so fucking terrible that I had to download it. It was like, I was going to say, what a fucking pause face. How did I manage that? Actually, you can just deal with that pause face while I smoke the ball. Yeah, see, it's like, she didn't even fucking bother to say, like, fucking... Although she did say, essentially, the two correct things, but she didn't bother to point out that if somebody just got baking powder instead, it's going to be, not necessarily having exactly the same effect as, they're hoping for. Yeah, I'm going to check my smoke while we stare at this head, and then we'll have a little bit of not trash for 20 odd minutes. We'll have some fun, and after that we'll watch one of the worst damn videos I have seen in a long time. We have met the dude before too, and you're not going to be surprised when you see who it is. Actually, I might have accidentally paused on a perfect fucking example.
So you're like...
of this guy, because we were going to just move on, but this is about the level of argumentation this guy gives. But he arrogantly declares himself correct all the time, and yet, like, gets angry at people, and he's just like, no, I'm right, and it's like, you're saying nonsense.
Was flat.
No, it's like some made up shit.
No.
It's like some modern day mythology. You remember how you said, like, religion is like a lie people say to make us feel good about dying, right? Remember you said that? So flat Earth is a lie people tell themselves to make themselves feel good about being idiots. So you're like, oh, I'm smarter than a flat earther.
I'm not a flat earther.
It's just a cope for the fact that you're a total idiot.
You know, isn't being a Christian about kindness, loving each other?
Yeah, I do love you. That's why
Do you love me?
That's why I'm telling you. I'm confronting you with how you're fake. Professing to be fool or professing to be wise, they became fools.
Yeah, he's like
wise.
boomer dust.
You think you know better than God. You think you're better than God. You're arrogant. You think you're smarter than God. What's wiser than that?
Well, God forbid I have an opinion that is different from one's own.
You're challenging God's word. That means you think you're smarter than God. So that, yeah, you think you're wise. You think you're wiser than God. I think wisdom starts with God's word.
You can think that all you
everything
like,
starts with God's word.
but we don't need to, like, he literally is just a fucking, it's not even worth engaging with what he's, we can do better in terms of content. But first, we're just going to have some fun, because Not Even a Show has been releasing some shit again. So let's just
put your best shirt on. We're
have a bit of a look.
Fools of the fools whose research lacks. Started drinking as a boy, now I'm an old man, but I just want one last kick at the can. So who knows what's behind that door? Just suit up, soldier, get ready for war. Sorry that you got it to be so, but this is. If
you don't know Not Even a Show, then you're in for a treat, because you've got a couple of years of backlog to go
Frank
through.
Stallone here, and I'm still not back. Stop
And
writing
they're not
online
back.
that I'm back. I enjoyed doing the first one-off episode, and I decided to do a second one, so sue me. Seriously, get in line. I have about 20 pending lawsuits against me, so yeah, good luck with that. This week, Michael Tracy gets a call about a business proposition, Wayneski calls a radio host about his favorite type of whiskey, and teenager Paz Richardson interviews a congressional candidate from Texas. First, though, you're not going to believe who's got their phone lines open.
If you're not familiar with Not Even a Show, you're probably pretty quickly going to go, I see, wait. Holy shit, if Snake Guy's in this, that's going to be crazy. I'm excited. Alright, I'm going to shut up. Let's watch this.
Up and who is definitely not expecting a call from us. That's right. It's everybody's favorite. It's the Snake Guy. Check it out.
And it points directly to Jesus being the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he lost his head.
Yeah, I lost my head. Hold on a second. We have a caller here that has some comment on the Masoretic text. Give me just a second here.
All right, we'll bear with Charlie as he taps in the phone.
Tap it in. Just tap it in.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Morning, caller.
Settle down.
Hi, Joe. My question about the Masoretic text do you realize that there's a snake right by?
And I just want you to know I still have a reason to call. I haven't gone away at all.
No, you're a dickhead. Stop it.
And the reason is that snake.
I thought that's what that was going to be, and I will now block that number. But I had that inkling, and I wasn't going to throw him on, but then he kept talking, and but I was.
I'm glad to know that
the devil is still with us.
Yes. So okay.
Very good.
So I had my finger hovering over the.
That's okay.
It's good deal when I put that on there. So, but yeah, they're still out there.
If you're new to the show, if you're new to the show, we have a group of fans that like to just call up and tell us we have a snake in our ear or behind us or whatever.
They think they're being cute.
All I hear is the voice of the snake, of the serpent, not this snake. This snake, but the devil.
Serpent. hey, that kind of falls right into what we're talking about in Genesis. You know, the serpent, they just called us and everything. So
this is wonderful.
So thank you, Snake, for calling today. And now that I have your number, you're going to have to generate another one. I'm not a very good call screener. But
No, that's okay. That's okay. You know darn well that
we haven't had one.
Essentially, it's a prank call show, but he's a little lefty dude that just fucking hassles right-wing fuckheads and somehow manages. Like, a lot of them are just nobodies, but there's a lot of he's managed to get in calls with like just all sorts of people that take themselves seriously.
Of those in a while, so it was actually kind of fun to throw them on there just to
right on time too. So
yeah. So
hey, Charlie, we sort of kind of had one of those not just a couple days ago. Thank you for being here. If you like what we're doing, please hit the thumbs up buttons, the like buttons. I know most of y'all don't do that, but it helps. Think of it as a witness to other people who stumble across the show. Is this thing any good? Nobody likes it. Well, if you like it, hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. That tells other people, might actually be worth watching. And folks, I actually look for that. There's certain things that if it doesn't have enough likes, I don't pay attention with it. So that's a witness. If you think the show's worth your time, and if you're here regularly and it's not worth your time, why are you here? So you wrestle with that on your own.
Michael Tracy has been writing a lot about the Epstein files, so we decided to call him and give him a business proposition and see if he has any time in his busy schedule to do some other writing. Check it out.
Hello? Looking to speak with Michael Tracy.
Who's this?
Hi, Michael. My name is Don Wedgwood. Just calling about a business proposition for you of sorts. If you would be interested, it's not like a call, it's a personal business proposition.
A personal business proposition?
Well, sorry, I'll be a little more clear with it. I represent a group of fairly wealthy individuals who have been accused of some crimes. We were curious if we could pay some money to you to write some puff pieces about our group.
I had a sense that this was a clever attempt at a phony phone call. I appreciate the business proposition. My proposition for you is to keep on trucking, Mr. Wedgwood, or whatever the heck you said your name was. And
do you have any shame?
I really applaud.
Do you have any shame, sir? Do you have any shame? Do you have any shame?
Have a wonderful day.
Don't want to answer the shame question? Don't want to answer the shame.
Do I have any shame? I mean, I guess
yes,
I don't have enough shame where I would spend my day making phony phone calls to
You don't even know how to describe yourself. You don't even know how to describe yourself.
I mean, who are you?
You don't know how to describe yourself without being insulting to yourself, because you know what an absolute spineless quisling you are. Is that not true?
A spineless quisling. Yeah, I mean, how could I possibly be so bereft of shame that I would do a thoroughgoing journalistic inquiry into the number one political narrative that's been engulfing the nation and arguably the world for the past 8 months, and then subject myself to the torrent of vitriol, such as, although this is pretty much a harmless example of it because you're not that clever, frankly.
I had a sense that this was a clever attempt at a phony phone call.
But then subject myself to this avalanche of defamation and slime where people think that I'm just defending people for grave sex crimes or whatever for no particular reason. Why would I go out of my way to subject myself to that if I didn't actually have a sincere reason for doing so? You think I just enjoy it, or do you think I'm actually being paid off by people, which I guess was the premise for your phony phone call? Because I'm not. If I were, then maybe my lifestyle would be a little bit more lavish than it in fact is. And I know you're not actually asking me these questions for any kind of good faith reason, you don't want to know my actual motivations for doing what I do. You don't want to actually inform anyone or yourself. You simply want to generate content, which I get. I mean, and got to respect the hustle. You know, I'm sure you'll get a lot of likes and a lot of shares for whatever venture you have going where this is what you do. You know, and you apparently think this is a good way to spend your time and it's productive and whatever, so more power to you. You know, as you called, I was listening to the current hearing before the U.S. Senate on the National Threat Assessment, the annual threat assessment hearing, and I interrupted, even though this came up as a spam phone call, because I figured, hey, what the hell, maybe it's something that got wrongly filtered.
Do you want another bath, mate?
And it turns out to be somebody who thinks that, you know, you're Howard Stern or something. Although Howard Stern actually had some funnier and a little bit more adroit people doing the phony phone calls on his behalf. This is just kind of like lazy.
Do you want a bath?
So it's not even impressive on any level. And
do you watch?
You know, although at the same time, I acknowledge that you got me to spend now 4 minutes and 22 seconds speaking to you. So that's some measure of a.
That was a little bit cruel of me. Poondog doesn't like having a bath, so if I ever say, do you want a bath, he'll just look at me like, how could you? And he acts like he's in trouble. Not in trouble, but he'll just be like, and it's the only thing that I can, like, I could say, like, get in your box, but even then he knows that he doesn't have a box and he's not really in trouble and all of that. But if I say, do you want a bath? He'll be like, oh shit, I've done it now. But if I say, do you want a shower? And then put his like lead on, he'll quite happily go and have a bath. So it's like, shower is fine, but if I say, that's it, you're getting a bath, he'll be like, oh no, well, I'm a bad dog.
Accomplishments.
That's one thing that you can count on you for, is that you love to hear yourself talk. So you will.
I mean, you called me and you asked me a question, but then it gets boomeranged on me as I love to hear myself talk. I guess that's as good a time as ever to terminate the phone call. So have a wonderful day.
Paz Richards is a teenage influencer, and he's a conservative, and he loves interviewing politicians. And this week he interviewed a congressional candidate from Texas. I forget the guy's name. It's not a big name guy, but he had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Check it out. I'm Paz Richards. Welcome to Politics with Paz. A politics show for young people, by young people. What's up to everybody? Today we're joined by, he's a candidate for Congress in the great state of Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. No, I'm saying, but thank you so much for joining us, Brandon Hawbaker. And Brandon, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So,
safe to say, young people, they ain't really into politics. They're like, miss me with that politics stuff mostly. I have one of my fellow young content creators, Jamie Waffle. He has even said he has like a program called Knowlitics, like, miss me with that. Is that facts or thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I do feel like politics have kind of taken an interesting turn, because the younger generation has kind of figured out a lot of what's going on even before some of us, right?
Yes, they're
It's awesome. The fact that it's like, this is the way these young conservatives, young Republicans, young liberals and all that, uppercase, like, big L liberal, the political party here, not liberals, you know what I mean? They've always got like, yeah, we're young hip dudes, and even when they are young dudes, like, even if they are like 20, they still look like some fucking 50-year-old dude with the exact same hair, glasses, beard combo, and those fucking suit shirts and ties that they wear, and they're like, yeah, we're representing the teen voice and shit. And it's okay.
More smart than what people think. me and my boys, when we're hanging out and stuff, we like to toke every now and then and stuff like that and have a bong, but we actually know what's going on a lot more than what people think. I'm one of the few young conservative politics interviewers. A lot of my fellow young creators, like Davey Blaze and John Blaze, they are like saying things like, they're like, conservative politics is like for like old people, and if you like want to believe in like Republican politics, you have to have sort of like an old mindset and be like sort of not caring for people and more caring for yourself and all that shiz, and that they're like fucking lame and stuff like that. Like all the old politicians and shit are like lame, and conservative people, it's kind of like become kind of massive cringe, and that they're mostly like old fucking losers. Facts or thoughts on that?
No, I think that's correct. I mean, there's a couple of things I didn't realize until I ran for Congress. One of the things I realized was there's a lot of money that's kind of caught up behind the scenes with each candidate.
The craziest bit is
they have
like,
these big, powerful companies.
And this is one of them where it's like, we sit there going, shit. It's sinking in, isn't it? Like he knows, and it's like you realize that they're just also that unengaged generally. They're waiting for keywords like buzzwords, fucking, and cues and prompt phrases, so that they can yes and through the blithering tropes of the accepted the call and response mimicry of these supposedly political discussions that conservatives have. They're waiting for their moment to make the right noises, and so a lot of time they're not even listening, not even engaging, and so you're sitting there thinking, oh shit, they're working it out. He's going to turn around and go, nah, fuck off. But then like this, when he gets asked a question, he locks in and he starts he thinks that this is serious. It's like, how can you take this seriously? They don't know how to talk to people. And I'm it's really weird. Autistic people in general, regardless of where you land on the spectrum, when you've got at least some, like if you discounting like people that were non-verbal and stuff when they were younger, that took longer to develop certain things or whatever, usually once certain things are identified within people, we then spend a lot more time analysing every single aspect of it. So in a lot of ways, even if autistic people still then have the same struggle passing some communication in general people around them, they still understand what's going on better a lot of the time because they've sat there and analysed all of that. And that's, why when you are, quite often, if you are an autistic person, you will get very frustrated with that seemingly pointless, gormless call and response mimicry that I spoke about, where, every time you go somewhere and you interact with another human, they're going to make the noises that they think are appropriate in that time. You as an autistic person are going to say, oh, I will literally listen to the words you're saying and think about them. And then you don't realise that you're just supposed to listen to the noise and make the appropriate noise in response. So instead, we turn around and how are you doing today? Well, that's a bit of a personal question, isn't it? What are you up to later today? Why are you asking what I'm up to? If you're asking what I'm up to and how I am, I guess you need to know. Well, I'm doing below average, and later I plan to cry about it. And they look at you like, why are you telling me this? It's like, well, you fucking asked. Well, so you go through that a couple of times, and after a while, you start to realise, it's all just, they're not talking, they're not saying words, they're just flapping their lips at each other, and I'm supposed to flap my lips in the right way at the right times afterwards. And it gets frustrating, but it's another way that we fucking will end up breaking down and analysing all of those interactions that we're compelled to take part in. And you do end up with like anything in life, we have objective views based on our exposure and our experience, so you can easily end up compounding these little things into a very skewed worldview. But as a general rule, once you note that, it's so easy to see, and then eventually, like, you can just have fun, like, fucking with people when they try and put you through the mimicry game. Like, when people do ask how you're going, just tell them mediocre, and they'll stop and think, and that's long enough that you've derailed the fucking flow of the call and response, and now it's your time. You can just relax and go, right, they're busy thinking, why would this person say mediocre? Now I can just fucking quickly finish the interaction and get the fuck out of here. Like,
or corporations backing them, and that's one
run
of the
by
reasons.
old people.
Yes, sir.
Just curious why you would choose to.
Yeah, small talk can be so fucking strange. Like,
align yourself with the old time, the lames, kind of like JD.
Because I always need more information, so it's like if I think that people are requesting information from me, I'm gonna try to give you information, which means I'm gonna talk for long. I'm gonna fucking tell you every bit of information that I can. And you're sitting there going, no, dude, that was just supposed to be a way to not talk. I said, how about their nicks, so that we could, I didn't expect you to explain to me how about them. Like,
Vance is like big time lame.
That's true. There's a lot of people across all parties really that are
but
very
mostly
lucky.
the Republican Party is mostly all old losers. Facts.
Yeah, there are some younger ones. I'm coming.
They're mostly now. That's
find.
interesting. You bring that up because there's a kid in my high school that I go to, and he's like really into like Turning Point USA, TP USA, which is like young people for that. Except for he's like a suit to school dweeb, like wears a suit to school every day, and people often will throw milk on him and shit like that, and like really kind of like think he's a big geek and nobody really thinks he's cool. Facts or thoughts on that?
Yeah, and it's not just taking back the situational individual power to allow your brain to think. It's just that it's like, you're right there, dog. It's not arrogance, is what I'm getting at. It's like fucking. There's no reason that you should feel compelled to lock your brain into these really mediocre and pedestrian sort of channels of thought where all you're allowed to do is run around the same circuits, you know? If your brain wants to think at you all the time, let it. You've got no fucking obligation to the rest of the world to deal with their bullshit.
Yeah, I guess there are some people that, you know, do some mean things like that to people.
The emotional labor of interaction is not to be always unfairly placed on fucking autistic people, as far as I'm concerned. If normie kids can't just spend 5 seconds doing a bit of thinking, then that's their fucking problem. Coon dog, are you just upset because it's raining outside? We like it when it's raining. It's not raining. It's not raining now. Why don't you go out there and sit on the porch or something? I'll get in flames. He's just going to come back and yell at me again. I know it.
Mostly like the progressive kids who are like into like free Palestine and caring about people and not against ICE or not for ICE. They're mostly treated pretty good, I find. Any thoughts of running as somebody who cares about people next time around?
Do you mean running as a libertarian?
No.
No.
Well, one thing I won't run on is anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's don't ask, you know, if you're going to pretend to be making conversation, at least have the mutual respect to frame things in a way where you're trying to elicit shit from people. Because it's like, if you just want to sound off against, so if you just want to fucking bounce your words off of me, then I just pretend that I'm standing in front of you. Like, if you're going to pretend to be talking to me, and I have to pretend to be listening to your bullshit, how about we both just pretend that I'm standing in front of you while I fuck off somewhere else, and then I'll pretend. I won't actually. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I'm not going to be thinking about your shit. But let's just pretend that I'm standing there listening to you dribble your shit, okay? You know, like, because it's just it feels disrespectful in a lot of ways, you know, because it's like, and that it doesn't have to be a generational thing, but there are some things that tie into it in those ways, like. Yeah. Fair. The best is when, like, like I say, Beavis and Butthead at Stuart's place, and his mother is like, "Oh, would you boys like a breakfast burrito?" And Butthead's trying to be polite and just says, like, "No, thank you, ma'am. We don't like things that suck." And it's like, the best is when, like, it's one thing to knowingly laugh at a stupid statement to signal your lack of respect for the statement. But it's even better when they catch you off guard and you either don't realise that they're serious, or you react instinctively before you have a chance to check yourself, and you end up just, because it's like, they will stare you in the eyes and say shit where you're like, you can't be serious, and you're just sitting there like, nervous laughter? Nope. Okay. You're for real? And I thought you were joking. How obvious is that now?
That's election fraud, right? Because right now, both the Democrats,
the good thing,
there's
the good thing you can rely on when you are a little bit of an autistic person with all the communication shit, and you analyse and second guess shit a little bit and all of that. The one good thing that you can rely on is that most normies are also a little bit on the spectrum somewhere without realising it, and just as oblivious to some of those things. So it's like, half the time you can just pass things off anyway, because, like, yeah, a lot of people that think they're completely fucking regular or whatever, or this is how normal people act or something, it's like they don't know how fucking deep they are. You know,
fraud in the Democrat primary and the Republican primary here in Texas. So getting elected is kind of tricky with election fraud, right? So
yeah,
because of that, I'm willing to work with anyone across any party, even forming new parties if necessary, in order to break free from the election fraud. But I have to prove it first, and I have to systematically fix that before pretty much anything else, because otherwise you just run and never win because they're not selecting you.
They call that Forrest Gump style.
Right.
My mom needs dial-up internet now.
Mm-hmm.
She's always on my shit, and she needs dial-up. She got to call her tanning salon regarding unfulfilled coupon situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe talk to you in 6, 7. Maybe talk to you in 6, 7. Thanks so much for doing it, Brandon.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Wayneski loves whiskey, but he really only likes one type of whiskey. And if you listen to the Guys podcast, you know what kind of whiskey that is. This week, he called a radio host who had some whiskey prominently displayed behind him, and he talked to him about that whiskey. Check it out.
Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Wayne. Yes, sir.
Hey, Bill, my good man. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm watching you here on the Rumble. I've just tuned into this Rumble. It's fantastic for anyone who's just listening. If you're just listening on the radio, you can actually see Bill live in the flesh, and it's a different experience. I really like it. I noticed you got some, is that whiskey behind you on the bottles there?
I do.
Do you have any Pappy Van Winkle, sir?
I do not.
What the fuck? What the fucking fuck?
See, that's going to be an issue with me, my man. I'm a whiskey.
Underneath my clipboard right here that you can see, I have a suppressed 9mm pistol, too.
Well, do you want to point that at the camera? That would be
No, I don't.
Cool.
No, I don't want to do that.
That would be cool. How come you told me about the gun after I said I had a problem with you not having Pappy? Were you just trying to...
No, not at all. I've never heard of that one. I'm actually a Scotch drinker. That's actually 2 bottles of Scotch and a bottle of bourbon.
So you've never heard of Pappy Van Winkle?
That doesn't mean nothing, does it?
No, it does mean something, sir. It's the absolute best whiskey on the market, hands down.
Okay.
Everything else to me is swill, and I absolutely love to imbibe on some Pappy. And I just think if you're going to display bottles, it's like, in gun terms, it's like, you got the cheapest ones laid out behind you. Why wouldn't you have the good stuff, the stuff that people can sort of be impressed by if you're going to be displaying it?
I'm not really displaying it. I just don't have anywhere else to put it.
Well, you're displaying it's right behind your left shoulder. It's very prominent.
Okay.
You've seen here on rumble.com. And
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, try out.
I've never heard of it.
Buttery.
I'll go look it up. I'll go look into it.
It's
Get me a bottle.
buttery, my friend. You can put that stuff on toast. It's so buttery, I'll tell you what.
Well, that changes my whole complexion of breakfast, doesn't it?
Well, no, I'm not sure. You sure you won't point that gun at the gun? Can I look at it?
We're on Facebook, too. Facebook don't like that.
Facebook probably doesn't like that you have the gun actually displayed right there, to be honest.
You can't see it, though. It's behind the clipboard.
I can see it. I can see the handle and everything. I can see it as clear as I can see those.
It is real? Yeah.
Out behind you.
Nice.
Okay, well, besides critiquing my adult beverage, what can I do for you today?
Well, honestly, I thought maybe the one on the left was a bottle of Pappy and it had a different label on it or something like that. But I just want to impart that wisdom to you, sir, that the only good whiskey to drink is Pappy Van Winkle, as buttery as Mama's toast, and if you're drinking anything else, I'll tell you what, I ain't too impressed by it.
That don't impress me much.
How come you got an extra microphone beside you there? What's going on with that?
Well, I have the one to my it looks like it's on the left there of the screen. That's for recording things, for recording voiceovers and everything else. This other one is a live
Hang on one
mic.
second here. No, I'll ask him, Terry. I'll ask him. What kind of mics are you working with there?
Techhead Terry.
One is a Shure, and one of them is a Rode.
So that's a Shure and a Rode. Those are two of the. Yeah, I'm asking him, Terry. I got my friend Terry here with me.
I'm a Scotch drinker. I don't drink bourbon at all because it tastes like squashed ants.
Into the tech side of things, he's very impressed by that. The Rode and he says those are industry standards. Those are fantastic microphones, and that you should be very proud of yourself using those microphones, sir.
Well, I appreciate it. It's helpful to use the right tools for the right job.
A wine and vodka puppy. Yeah, good work, but it's not worth it. Especially when you hear my response to Wembley Jet saying, like, back when I would have described myself as a wine and vodka puppy was in our early teens, and we invented a drink which was vodka and Moselle highballs, where you'd put a cube of ice in a highball glass, and then you'd half fill it with vodka, and then you'd fill the rest with cask wine, preferably Moselle, and then you'd drink that. And it was fucking deadly, and it was awful, and I have still got scars 30 years later, and we fucking loved it as kids. It was, yeah, it's not a good drink.
Okay, I'll ask him what kind of headphones you working with.
Well, instead of us doing an inventory, is that all you called to do?
Well, I'm done with my call. I'm just passing on these messages from my friend Terry.
Well, tell Terry he should call me himself. I don't, you know.
Oh, he will. He
Okay.
will. My
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Techhead Terry's just...
That was bizarre.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. And thanks so much, honestly, for all the kind comments on the first episode. It really, really made me feel good. And it's one of the reasons why I did a second episode. Somebody said I was aging backwards. That made me feel like damn Ryan Gosling walking around for about 3 days. So bless you and thank you so much. And I hope that you have a good week.
There's a good backlog of entertaining
I'm
content.
sorry that I let the show crumble.
I think no Dave's opinions, no Dave's cooking show. I think that like this video was so bad that I instantly downloaded it because I'm like, surely this dude's gonna get like pushed back, or he's gonna watch it and he's gonna be like, oh shit, that was a very poor showing that I did. And yeah, like surely this dude's gonna delete this video, but so we'll have a look and see if it's still there. But I downloaded, I was just so, because we've watched some bullshit and we've even seen some dumb shit from this same guy. But I just, yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah, the video's still there. So this is a 20-minute video, and I actually have sat through and watched
neurochemical
pretty much most of it, or all of it. I don't know, but you may be already recognizing this guy. I'm pretty sure we ended up watching at least one of his videos on Jake's stream, and this is the quote unquote atheist is not overtly just like, oh, actually, yeah, despite what the title says, I'm a Christian, like, which is normally the case, but the whole thing really at a lot of times feels so stilted and weird that it's almost like, is it all just fake? Like, is this even a like genuine uni student, university or college student or whatever that's just come across this situation, decided to engage? Like, it almost feels like, yeah, maybe the whole thing's fucking staged with shills and shit. But even then, this dude, it's like, our little dude here, our little dude here, barely gets to say anything, and yet our dude here still managed to fuck up. So let's just watch it.
neurochemicals. You're an atheist. Everything is matter in motion, okay? Neurochemicals in our brain. This is a can of Coke and you shake it up, neurochemicals and fizz, okay? This is me. Okay. You're a can of Pepsi. Your neurochemicals in your brain. How can, as an atheist, I objectively say can of Coke good, can of Pepsi bad? You can't, because you have no epistemic.
Neither
is good or bad.
Sorry, welcome in, DCB. Yeah, still got some in the bowl. Let's get a quick smoke check in because I, even though I've already sat there by myself watching this and going, what the fuck? What the fuck? We need a smoke to take the edge off because otherwise I'll end up ranting and yelling at this. And I'm going to also move the chat since it's covering up the dude's head a bit. Let's do a quick rearrangement. Yeah, good to see you, DC. Sorry if you were sitting there for a little while before I realised. Oh wait, can we watch the first? Sorry, what did I miss? One word yet? Oh, you'd like to watch the first? Okay, so with Not Even a Show, when he's saying there the first one, he actually means the most recent new video, because they had a break for maybe almost a year now. I'm not sure, or 10 months. If you want to watch more, we'll watch another one a bit later before the stream ends. If we'll fit it in at some time, but we'll actually go back and watch something like a classic one or something, just to give you a bit more. And in your own time, though, I'll link in chat here Snake Guy Supercut, so you can see the evolution of the Snake Guy scenario. Like, that's a 45-minute video that you can sit there in your own time and be like, oh, okay. Because that's sort of like, I'm pretty sure that one will show every interaction with the Snake Guy up until that point. And that video is from 3 years ago, so and that'll give you a good background of the show in some ways as well. But yeah, regardless, we'll try to watch a bit of some classic stuff before we finish up. Might just make the chat a little bit smaller there. So works. Alright, yeah, so smoke check, and then we will this is really something. Because I'm not joking or exaggerating. Like, we all know that we've watched some bullshit here and there on the old YouTube at times, but this one really is. It's crazy. They always manage to outdo themselves in little ways. Ad break. Alright, no, that's good timing. We can do some tunes, we're going to have an ad break. We're going to have 4 or 5 minutes of musical interlude and some we'll have our smoke check. Yeah, ad starting in 20 seconds. Nothing we can do about it, so we'll take our break. We're also going to cover up that dude because we don't want to be looking at him. And smoke him if you got him, chat. If you're drinking responsibly, now's the time to do it. So, My weed supplies are getting really low, chat. Which is why I said initially this might be a short... I think I'm going to do fine. I should have enough to get us through stream, but I do tend to smoke a little faster on stream, so we've got to try and curb that somehow at some point, chat, but... Hydrate, chat. I think it's the last of my coconut water. How was the ad only just... oh, we managed to snooze. That's fine. Cool. We're having a musical interlude anyway, because I still got to finish grinding weed. I've got a bunch of scoop videos that I have to do tonight, or at least get started on. We've got a pretty important one and a restock to be done. Have we got like a Fiera promotion? One day. Enjoy it while it lasts, chat. Alright. One more little smoke check, just because I see Chronic in chat. And then we're gonna watch this trash. We're finally out of snoozes. At the best of times. His old mate Arngel still alive? Very live horse. Oh, you're good, Shanna. I've still got to ask Fiera sort of really what she wants in there and everything. But Fiera, as far as I know, has just finished watching every episode of One Piece. So we might see Fiera again one day. Alright, no more smoking pot. No more smoking pot. We've got a video to watch. I'll let you have the rest of the song. But, we're going to try to get through this one. Yeah, I mean, Fiora had a bunch of stuff going on, apparently, but also has been watching One Piece, and pretty admirable feat, really, watching the entire series, so I'm still intimidated to get started, you know. I hear that it's worthwhile, but alright, what one final track? Awesome. That's good enough for the time being, at least, anyway. At least now I can go, I have scoops to do! Fiora. Thank you, Shanna. Disappeared. Yeah, I mean, it is the best answer that most people you can hope for. And even if it is a response to depression or something, it's like, that sounds like therapy to me. Tried a couple of times, but then stuck all the way through, yeah. After we watch this video, I've got a bunch, like I said, I have scoops to edit and stuff, so I won't be doing any other editing until I've sorted that out, but I have a feeling I'm going to want to chop up this video that we're about to watch. It's literally crazy scrolling through and seeing everybody subscribed, like, I never expected people to be like subscribing to the channel and stuff. I thought we could just hang out and shit, but it's like, all the little molesto cats next to everybody, it's nice. I miss that little thing. Alright, so we don't need to go back to the start because he's playing, the intro is just him playing some of his stupidest moments, to be honest. So we're just gonna hit play and see how it goes. Is it play?
Hold up, because you've been making moral claims. You said raping a 6-year-old's bad. Okay. So you are making moral claims.
Oh, fuck! I forgot. I was sitting here raving about how bad this is gonna be, and I forgot. I really, honestly forgot how bad this is gonna be, and I only watched it last. This is like fucking from a day ago. This is, I only just watched it. I love my brain, it just gets rid of shit for me. It's awesome.
That doesn't make sense.
On what? Do you believe in an objective
Christ
morality or
rock
no?
and roll.
Objective morality. Can you
Like, are there things that are objectively right?
So, no. Sorry, but I will try to keep it short. I want to try and be concise. But one of the big problems with this video and this interaction, which you'll very quickly see, is that there is no actual dialogue. It's an attempt to fucking steamroll and push out a script. And in lieu of being able to actually stop and answer the questions or address any of the claims being made, we're going to have to stop briefly on each new one as it goes and address those, because you're never ever going to be able to actually put across your own viewpoint or argument to a person like this. You'll quickly see what I mean if you're not already accustomed to them.
Yeah, something.
But yeah, so no, there is. We hit a stumbling point here because in the very first question, the very first question or statement being made by this bloke is objective morality, yes or no. He says yes, I say no. Instantly, my saying no is going to be disregarded, as you've seen.
Are there things that are objectively right and wrong?
Yeah, some things.
No.
Or, no, I think.
No. Simply no.
Because to an atheist,
you could do anything you want, honestly. But I think that for humans, for us to exist as humans, as a species.
Unfortunately, for the most part, we're going to have to ignore this kid in exactly the same fashion as the dickhead Christian does, because they don't get any chance to actually say. They don't get any chance to formulate and then put across any sort of thought or argument or point. So,
We've developed social systems to not kill each other and do things that are wrong to each other.
Could those social systems change, though?
Just like how chimpanzees, they
I
don't
understand.
kill each other randomly.
This is possibly, he's already tried to speak over him once or twice, but this is possibly going to be the first instance of stop talking now and let me do your talking for you.
Or like steal each other's stuff because that's bad as a society for chimpanzees. But chimpanzees don't believe in God.
Yeah, it's fine. No, we're not animals like that.
We're animals. Never let a Christian get away with trying to vaguely hand-wave anything by turning around and claiming that humans are not animals, because that in itself is a point of contention that needs to be fucking focused on. He's trying to sneak in a different extra little claim there, which is unrelated to what's being discussed, but by not challenging it, his intention is to basically have you concede that point or agree with it passively by not addressing it. He gets to throw it in there and give the impression to anybody watching that you've just agreed with that, when it's not what's being argued, and he's just throwing it in there. And of course we're screening your name, Fiera. You know that we screen your name every single hang on, wait. What? Sorry, the dog needed to go out, but then he decided not to. What did I miss in chat? Team Cook, yeah. All the street crowd. The street crowd. The Stephen Crowder street debate type steamroll, because I know without a FanDuel session. Yeah, 100%. No, I was saying I need to do some scoop videos for you, and I was titillating the audience by mentioning that some of them were rather important and more urgent than others, and one of them was a restock video. And then we started discussing that we need to get all of your links to shill and tout so that we can just have an easy command and be like, Fiera! And then he would be like, yeah, we can now go buy scoops and get videos and stuff. we need bugs, and they're going, alright, I've got a guy. There was a guy on my left. So there was another dude that decided to just be on my person, and I didn't realise because I was lying in bed and I could feel a sensation on my leg, a physical sensation, and I ignored it because I was like, well, if it's a spider, I guess it'll just bite me. And when I got up a little while later, there was a guy. But I had to record it on my phone, and it's too big. Alright, maybe I can just send the photos and I'll show you the video after or something. How do I... Right, I'm just going to send a photo to myself and then... I'll get the video sorted later. And I've got another thing as well. I've got a few things, I guess. Got to go to this. Send this to Discord. So, the guy that was on the send. Alright, in a minute I'll try and get the photo and I'll show you the guy. Yeah, I'll do it straight away. Did I send it? Yeah. Please excuse my leg in these photos. The photos sort of suck. There's two decent ones. Extreme close. Can you not grunt on yourself there, dog? That's sort of... People can hear that. They might have suspicions. So, excuse my leg. This guy was on me. Just randomly when I was in bed looking at stuff on my phone or something. And I filmed him a bit and stuff so you can see his motion, but you can get the way, obviously, the way he walks and everything. I don't know who he'll be when he grows up, but I'm not that smart. But yeah, like, I've got a video I'll show you at some point, but it's too big for me to easily do the Discord stuff because I don't have, it's going to be more than 10 megabytes or whatever you're allowed to do. So that's your cleanse. You got to meet a nice little dude. Now back to the bullshit.
So one of my biggest problems with atheism, man, is that if morality is subjective and it can change and we have no moral lawgiver, I don't think that's good for a society. I'll just give you an example, right? What your morality comes down to as the atheist is the moral consensus. What do the majority of people agree with? And
Not
is it
necessarily.
legal? Does that make sense? Would you
your tendency because this is essentially a semantic argument and you're trying to do deceptive and disingenuous wordplay to corner somebody that perhaps isn't reading off the same script as you, there's going to be this intentional, unswerving focus on the bare concept of morality, and because of the nature of that semantic argument that he's trying to employ, everything that he's actually going to bring up in terms of the nature and framing of his arguments, be it philosophical or debate style or anything like that, is actually moot because really at its core he's just twisting words and he's going to focus on the word moral. And if you do get down into semantics like that, you don't need to discuss the actual philosophy behind morality anymore, because you're actually just, the real discussion being had here is people, once again, as always, their understanding of and relationship to a term that has been devised by humans to communicate an idea that they've had and that we share with each other. Just as the word rights, it refers to a concept created by humans that we assign to ourselves and each other. It is but a word that we've created to describe that phenomenon. We need a way to communicate these things with each other. We need some form of relative consensus on base meanings of terms. And what this dude's doing, focusing on the word morality, is giving himself a bolt hole to avoid actually engaging in any other arguments, because any time he's presented with a more substantive argument that he can't respond to or doesn't feel comfortable with, he can retreat to this little semantic discussion and try to claim that his interlocutor doesn't really understand the words that they're talking about, when in fact he knows that he's simply trying to disingenuously frame concepts and words and then do little switches and plays just to try to corner someone in a semantic argument that's removed somewhat from the reality of what's being described due to the inadequacies either of language itself or people's full capability to engage with it. One holiday season, while working on the road, I had this interim life of small children. So I think maybe she was so fucking depressed. You were just, oh wow. On the other hand, like, it's seeing jarring juxtaposition of weird shit particularly during minimum wage shifts and all of that, is a huge existential trigger for anybody that has got a what I call the depressive reality mind state, the depressive realism, where sometimes the bleak, stark thoughts that you have when you're depressed are genuinely very accurate representations of certain things, but through a very situationally warped lens. It's hard to move back from depressive realism when you see a stark reality of a situation but forget that subjective view, because oftentimes it will be a correct analysis in many ways. And so it's not that you can argue that it's an incorrect way of looking at things, but it's always fogged or clouded by that overriding. Shit, have we missed something? Nothing. Sweet. I wonder if I've also got another video for Fiora, but it's going to be more of a tease, and she'll be like, "Oh, you tease, and then I'll be like, all right, I'll go back and get you a bigger video. But I'm not sending you. I think it'll be illegal for me to. Anyway, back to the stupid thing. We're only a minute in. Oh no, not back to the video because I wanted to Google geometry or something. Oh, I wonder if it's going to be like that. It's probably just going to be one of those boring roads. Oh. Wait a second. I'll give you a scratch, mate. Why is it called inch? They look like that. They look like they are measuring the leaf as they move along. Okay. Okay, back to the.
You agree with that?
Yes.
So the problem with that, okay, I understand. So
whatever is legal and
so
whatever I think is
the problem with that though is that could that be wrong?
It could be wrong, but I think as a society we could change that. I think that's what the laws are for.
So here's the problem. Because it's changed so much, I'll give you an example, right? 200 years ago was
So,
slavery. That
sorry
was illegal,
to-
and that was the moral consensus.
Yeah.
Sorry to pull up again already, but this actually is like a good example of although this is being done presumably intentionally as a thought terminating, argument stifling, debate tactic type thing. It is representative of that phenomenon that I sometimes discuss regarding Christians, where their inability to actually fully come here. Let me scratch you. Don't hurt yourself. Good boy. There you go. Already, he's either intentionally trying to force or shoehorn his unwavering worldview into the argument of the other person that he's provided for themselves anyway, or he's unable to actually digest and comprehend the absence of certain things, even within a worldview that literally claims not to. Like in this instance, they started with a basic question: objective morality, yes or no? He says yes. The other guy says no. But even when he says, okay, so you say no, but within that, the morality, and it's like, no, within no objective morality, that means, quite literally, that there is not an objective moral standard. So you do not then turn around and insert the word, try to insert that within, like, he's still trying to apply the framing that he gives to his own worldview to a diametrically opposed worldview that is based on removing that particular aspect of his own worldview. And yet he is incapable of actually viewing it through that other lens. So even when proclaiming to do so, he's still inserting the structure, the framework, the codes, the moral, not the ethical jargon surrounding his way of framing, like Yeah, you get it anyway.
And I think at that time, if I lived at that time,
you would think it was okay. That was the
But
moral
yeah, he's
consensus.
about to go
Because
on
it's
to
changed so
slavery.
much. I'll give you an example, right? 200 years ago with slavery, that was legal, and that was the moral consensus.
Yep, and I think at that time, if I lived at that time,
you would think it was okay.
I definitely would have thought
So
it was
that's
okay
the
at that time.
and I understand.
As a society,
Yeah.
we've changed, and that's because.
See, again, leading this dude into making a claim. What the little fella thinks he's agreeing to is that, yes, if there were social conventions and standards that were more widespread, it is more likely that an individual from that time would have it is evidently more likely that an individual from that. However, they're trying to turn that relatively benign statement that shouldn't be much of an argument into a claim that every single person from that time would have definitely felt that way. And even there's never been a time in history where things have been going on that's been somewhat of a cultural norm, where there hasn't been people standing back in horror going, I'm just a pretty normal little dude with a pretty normal little brain looking at some shit that I know isn't good. There's always been that in every circumstance. And again, because a lot of these Christians are mentally stifled by their own beliefs and understandings of the way humans have evolved and how long they've been around, they can't fit in a subconscious way when the brain's doing instinctive background subconscious maths that you don't think about. They can't fit into their instinctive, like their little juicy gut feelings, all the visceral little fucking, all of the soft little human feelings that motivate and dictate the way that they choose what to believe. They can't find space in that to fit the timeline for literally, if you look at 6,000 years ago, if you look at 10,000 years ago, there wasn't much difference on a physiological or a biological or a chemical or a fucking evolutionary level between humans then and now. Despite the amount of organisation that we had yet to do and all the rest of it, on an evolutionary scale, we've been around for so long. We didn't just have a couple of apes walking around and a couple of fucking Neanderthals walking around and they fucked each other and then bam, the first humans born. A very long time, took a very long process to do different things, and then there were early humans and they were all different. Humans themselves have been so many different species within themselves as we've evolved. To fully understand how long the modern human brain has been around and the way we've been looking and thinking and organising things in the same ways for a long time, despite the levels of technology we've had. It's hard for us to see because you look at a quote-unquote primitive man from a few hundred or 1,000 years ago or whatever, or however long. It's hard for you to understand that that's despite the difference in cultural or technological standards, you're not looking at semi-evolved people, and it's why this racism is baked into a lot of Christian thought as well, because they really do think that things just sprung up, and they really think that even the signs we have of humans and their very modern forms of organisation, despite the differences in technology and different fucking older cultures and the fucking archaeological things we found and all the rest of it, they really think that these things were built by fucking primitive caveman type people or whatever, semi-evolved people and all of this. And it's no, we've been pretty fucking like even our evolutions that we can watch where we see signs of evolution that seem to indicate faster stuff, it still takes so long for, like, you know, it'd be really cool if we could eugenics ourselves into some extra heads or limbs in a few generations, but it's not the way, you know? But yeah, fucking to pretend that during the far off time of fucking chattel slavery, there were these near primitive humans walking around not understanding on the same emotional or evolution brain level that we were. They didn't have the means to comprehend how bad slavery was, and it was just the norm. So everybody definitely just supported it unthinkingly. And it's like, that in itself is not, once again, he's trying to slip in a stupid claim that really does need to be corrected, because what he's doing here is he's not trying to argue for one main claim. He wants to have you stand in front of him while you try to get him to stick to one point, argue the claim that's being made, while he instead rattles off a list of little talking points that he's got in his script before he finally ends his sermon and gets back to fucking declaring himself to have therefore won on the ultimate point. And it's like, that's not the way that rational conversation takes place, despite what any debate brain fuckwit might try to insist to you.
Because as a society, we want to make everything better, and so this is the point that we're at now, where we want to make things equal for everybody. Like people
no, that's not true. Atheists don't want to make things equal for everybody.
Well, I don't know.
What is that claim? Like, where does that come from? What a stupid thing to just come out with.
I don't believe.
Do you know what
I said we. I personally, I'm gonna say I think that everybody could do whatever they want. People could be homosexual. Yeah. Girls could like girls. Guys could like guys. That's whatever to me. I really could care less.
I feel like this guy was a plant, and he's just like, it's literally this dude's mate. Something just. All you gotta do is stand there and something.
So we'll go one point at a time, right?
But for me personally, I'm straight.
Okay, you gotta let me go, okay?
For sure.
What abolished slavery? What ultimately abolished it?
The Black Lives Matter movement?
Christianity. Christian abolition.
Do I need to
So here's the problem, right? If our morality is based on just what the moral consensus is, if you're conceding that that could be wrong, I don't want that to be my morality. I'll give you another example, okay? There are 1 million abortions a year in America, okay?
So, once again, let's do one point at a time. Let's stick to the thing. All right, now I want to rattle off a bunch of unrelated bullshit. And constantly talking over him and saying, no, like, you've got to let me speak.
Do you think abortion's murder or no?
No, murder is a legalistic term. Once again, it's disingenuous for you to try to conflate different if you're trying to have this kind of discussion, then you really should be very precise on the terminology you use. And if you're going to turn around and use a legalistic term when you're then going to switch to either a colloquially like... Buddy, I'll let you in. Now you're just yelling at me? What is wrong with you? I haven't got any treat. You've got cookies there, you've had your chunkers, you had really nice, expensive chunkers. You just want more chunkers. You had a decent portion for breakfast. You don't have to look like that. I'm not calling you fat. I know you're in good shape. You don't eat so much because you can't run around so much. But it's not like you can have some more if you like. You don't whine at me. Right, I'll get you some more chunk, it's fine. Just don't. There you go. Spoiled dog. You want me to breed it? Yeah, you're quite comfortable with it. I'll bring it to you. There you go. Sorry about that. So yeah, no, clearly, of course, abortion is not murder. Murder is a legalistic term. If you're trying to conflate it, as you will in a moment, with some other colloquial use of the term or your biblical understanding of the term, then we both understand that you're being disingenuous with your framing of the question, and you're setting this poor lad up to try to answer an open-ended question without being specific, because then you've got two locked and loaded ways to fucking then move it to a specific framing to claim that he's being incorrect. What he should be doing, instead of actually answering this, like, this is not, despite the way he's tried to thrust it upon you, this is not a yes or no answer. It's a fucking it's simply not even wrong. It's an incorrect framing. It does not rise. It does not qualify for being right or wrong because it is nonsensical in itself at best in its attempt to avoid specification and use technical terms in a generalized way. He's specifically trying to make the statement unmeasurable, like amorphous and vague, so that it can't be clearly defined and measured, so that it can't be falsified in the first place, because it's, as I said, too open-ended and it's intentionally vague with that nefarious intent of then retreating to a specific use of the term, which then most people would not agree with anyway.
See, so the fact that you even have to think goes to show how subjective it is.
For me, killing another organism is just a matter of the universe. So that's a matter per person whether that's a good or bad thing.
Yeah.
For
but
me,
you just disagreed with that because you just said it was based on the moral consensus and
law. No, for me, I'm thinking on like the small.
No, that would be a form of subjective applied morality. What's it? Actually, if you wanted to be debate bro dude or whatever, I think it's actually, is that where they start saying that's applied ethics or something? But that would be a case of subjective morality reached by consensus, which is the general way that human participation and cooperation has evolved over time regardless. I mean, it's literally, these days we talk about the social contract or whatever, but it's literally the glue that holds people together is a mutual understanding. Like it's attempts to communicate. And that's basically... Don't eat yourself. That is like, because it's the outward manifestation of the practical like product of the overlap between like the humans, like I talked about, the biological imperative towards cooperation that starts with us breeding extremely vulnerable young that stay vulnerable for a long time and take quite a while to mature. combined with the simple universal, for want of a better term, mathematics of there's this simple economy of labour whereby if you remove all labour organisation or economic organisation from it, the bare simple fact of the matter is that you as one person could barely produce enough alone for your own subsistence, let alone to thrive in any way. You'd barely be on survival if you were producing alone for yourself. With two people, it very quickly moves to a case where instead of barely being able to provide for yourselves, you can almost provide easily for a third person or more. And this shit kind of scales almost exponentially to a point until it reaches capacity type restrictions. But based on that, the outward manifestation in practical reality of sentient beings cruising around with these simple imperatives dictating their behavior, it's going to necessitate a form of communication. That communication is literally the glue for whether successful or not. That in and of itself, which is why linguistics is such a fucking important binding topic and subject amongst human culture, which is why, dare we speak his name these days, Chomsky's work as a linguist went far beyond what people would even consider social sciences. But because of that, it means that we have. Thank you, Poondog. Wait, did you ate your fucking extra chunkers and now you're yelling at me? This is unacceptable. Don't lick your lips now. And so, lick your lips and sigh. How about you go outside and do dog things? So, because of all of this, regardless of your belief in creators, regardless of religious framing or faith or belief or anything like that, when these discussions are being had, it really it's almost meaningless to claim that there is or should be some form of objective morality, because just within the scope and scale and at the point where you can view the universe through a lens that is beyond human comprehension in the scope and scale, we don't need words to define that which we cannot tangibly even conceive of. When we are having practical, grounded, reality-based conversations, all we have at our disposal is our layman's understanding of the terms that we try to employ and our mutual consensus on what we mean by those terms. If you desperately insist that there's a greater meaning to those terms than that which is assigned by the humans which created them for their own practical use, then for a start you need to somehow try to prove this ridiculous fucking idea. But it's like it renders meaningless the need for literally contained within the scope of the term subjective is that which is applicable to humans. There is a cold, cruel, uncaring universe around us on a completely different time scale that we never understand. But he needs more treats. But we do not have that when the objective stretches into the eternal, it stretches into meaninglessness.
On the scale, like to right now, like the bacteria are eating each other, like
I'm talking about
everything's
humans.
eating
Yeah,
each
I'm
other.
talking about humans.
For us, we're just our multicellular organisms as humans are just at a point to where we could think about killing each other or doing whatever to each other or doing this or that at whatever time we want because we just have that mind space to be able to do that.
So it's okay for me to kill whoever or for you to kill whoever.
It's not okay, but what okay is what we.
You have to be consistent, which, as I've discussed in the past, is one of those ridiculous statements where they're not in. It's a insinuation towards internal consistency of logic, which in and of itself is a pretty silly argument because it always fails at the point where language will inelegantly express things that may have a different form of consistency. Your attempts to frame the perceived through line of consistency, whether represented correctly or not, is always going to be subject to, and especially the reason I bring it up is because if things are subject to literal interpretation, then of course it's going to fall into the trap that I mentioned earlier of just semantic games, twisting words and disingenuous Weasley pedantry to avoid having a. Very often you'll see people that have a clear understanding of what's trying to be expressed, but they will try to misrepresent it by framing it literally in words which sound correct or sound logically consistent, but only because it's a literal device. It's more wordplay than actual adherence to any kind of logic, be that internally consistent or not.
Want it to be as a species.
Yeah, that's fine. So for me then, let's just say it's okay that I feel I want to kill you. To you then that's justified.
Fucking try it, cunt. Say it again, you fucking moron, coward, pussy. Or try it, you cunt.
Fine, it's fine. Because that's what you just said.
Yes,
okay.
I mean you could do
so
whatever
I don't want
you want.
So I don't want your worldview because if we live in a worldview where everyone can just do whatever the heck they want because they feel like it, our society collapses. That's why I'm a Christian.
I live in a world.
Smug little piece of shit. That didn't make any sense, and yet you're going to sit back and pat yourself on the back for it. You're going to have a little fucking shit-eating fucking grin on your face. Get a little semi in your fucking pants and quickly put your hand under the desk, under the table so that nobody sees you giving it a little rub. Let's very carefully listen again to what he tried to spit out there.
That's what you just said.
Yes,
okay.
I mean you could do
so
whatever
I don't want
you want.
So I don't want your worldview because if we live in a worldview where everyone can just do whatever the heck they want because they feel like it.
So you're trying to say that the core belief or that which unites atheists as a group in a way to describe them, the best thing that you can boil down if you were trying to describe atheists based on a common identifying factor is that you would say that they have a worldview where anyone can do whatever the heck they want because they feel like it. You know yourself that is a disingenuous, reductive, and fucking just ridiculous, fucking disgusting misrepresentation. And you know that it's an offensive thing to turn around and say that to someone in their face, to tell them that that is what their literal belief is, and try to quickly trying to fast talk through it so that you can you've got your little shit sandwich there that you're creating. You try to slap a little bit of bread at the start. You dribble a bunch of shit for the filling. And then before the dude can turn around and go, hey, motherfucker, how do you be? Turn around telling me what I think. And that's it. You quickly try and slap a bit of bread on the end. So if they want to respond, they've got to grab hold of the whole shit sandwich and fucking try eating it. You're a fucking disgusting worm piece of shit.
Our society collapses. That's why I'm a Christian.
I live in a worldview where we
That's
all
why I'm a
made
Christian.
this society. We
That's why I'm a
made
Christian.
what it
That's why I'm a Christian. I'll bite your ankles if you try. They let her. Oh, hang on, wait, did I miss something? Is this that lady again? The thing? Suppose make sure that's crazy. And yeah. See, and this is a problem as well. Obvious, quite clearly, whatever. When I talk about the unnecessary focus on risk and reward for individuals or small groups within capitalism, there's always this bullshit like, oh yes, and it's true. Like, we don't need business people of any size, small, medium, or large, taking unnecessary cuts from the product of the working class. However, it's always this like fucking, in this situation, if these people are going to do this shit that they think is fucking helping the community so much, for a start, they're fucking over the economy by leaving workers high and dry that they're not paying. But secondly, if they wish to take on the reward that could come by having their undue profits fucking siphoned away from the people that they exploit as employees, then they also must take on the reward and the if they want to do this supposedly beneficial fucking humanitarian, helping the community, nice guy fucking hippie bullshit, then their job is to go out and put themselves in more debt, get fucking money so that they can afford to give this unsecured loan to this crazy random person that they don't have any relationship or knowledge of, so that they can still hire, regardless of what they're doing in these stupid ways, they can afford to have the capital there, which is what a business is in the first place. A business is no more than the capital to front for things that other people need, with the idea that you can then leverage that power to get them potentially at a lower cost than other people might be able to, and then provide those services to people as they require them because they can't afford to leverage that themselves. That is your only position as a capitalist, as a business owner, as a capital owner, is to have the money to front, the capital to front for the necessities of running that business. If you cannot pay your workers, then you fucking deserve to bear the risk, the damage of the risk and reward that you signed up for. Otherwise, stop pretending that you support bullshit fucking capitalism at any point, at any level, because it's like, all you're doing is turning around saying that I deserve to be able to sit on my ass, own a bunch of shit, and then dictate the way the pittance that we're fucking trying to sort out here. It's not heaps of money, like, it's a lot of money to us, it's a lot of money to you, it's a lot of money to that lady, but that's a fucking drop in the ocean of the, it's nothing. Nobody needs to be fucking losing houses and fucking livelihoods and lives over fucking a few $1,000s because some dipshit fucking wants to pretend that they're a fucking big-hearted motherfucker. It's like, this is the kind of financial and economic mismanagement that really pisses me off amongst the fucking petty bourgeois and shit when they fucking... Am I ranting, chat? Smoke check. We're grinding up more money. It's the whole point of the circle. It's created on the universe. It's supposed to work that way. It's created on the idea that people will be enticed by the idea of personal reward, and therefore support this fucking societal level fucking systemic problem or systemic way of organisation that inevitably ends with, because it's baked in, it's part of the way it's supposed to be, and thus cycle. You know it's never going to be the actual oligarchs that lose their positions of power, because and even that is set up in such a way as it's like only there so that we're being farmed. Hydrate chat and medication chat. Sorry, I'm keeping it fine. Put a song on for a minute because I'm not unpausing until I get in another smoke check, just so that we can separate. You know, we can go through a threshold, fucking walk through a door, fucking clear our minds, and not instantly be ranting when we get into the next room, you know? Is this good? It's not over here. And it's not. I hate it though. There's this album that I like from Mel Travis that was released sometime, and there's like 6 different versions of it, and some of them have got a bunch of songs on them, some have got other songs on them, and they've all got the same name. Getting the one version with the tracks on it that I really love. Fuck. We're back. So. Alright.
Hush, my baby, do not cry. The mushroom cloud is in the sky. Now I lay you down La 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 lullaby. Hush, my baby, do not cry. A mother's tears are never dry. If you should die before I wake, I pray the Lord your soul to take. But who will heal my bitter ache? La 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 la
Why is it slowly?
Hush, my baby, do not cry. A mother's tears are never dry. Oh, who will teach your feet to run? Oh, who will guide your lisping tongue? And who will warm you in the sun? Now that my body's work is done. Hush, my baby, do not cry. A mother's tears are never dry.
Smoke check.
I cannot sleep, I cannot rest. My babe is gasping at my breast. I walk from east, west, north, and south with a cry for peace on a burning mouth. I did not ache that you might die. The world will hear my bloody cry. So sleep in peace and lullaby. Hush, my baby, do not cry. A mother's tears are never dry. First gray light of dawn's pushing at the window pane. So fare thee well, my blue-eyed girl. It's time to
Med check
part
done.
again.
Hydration done.
The rain can cry our tears
Smoke check
for
in
us.
progress.
The wind can sing our song. A song can be our memory back along the road we've come. There's many things we've got to do. There's poems I've got to say to people in the smoky towns and the mountains far away. Will I tell them of the time we shared and the songs I sing today. Yes, and I'll tell them of the things we've learned before our parting day. I'll tell them there's a time ahead for all that might have been, when swords have turned to plowshares and all the world is green. The road is getting wider now, it's calling out so long. If I look back to see your dust, don't wave to me too long.
Remember when I told you a few weeks ago that you are a total pussy? Well, I just want to apologise for not emphasising that enough.
Can't find the track. So.
Why don't you light in the pot? You smoke the drugs?
Fucking do I ever?
Here we
What is that?
crack cocaine. Is there a problem?
No problem. Just haven't done that shit for ages.
Smoke check.
Welcome to the hall of the Munting Kings. Come on in, skull a drink. We're the kings of munting and we order you to munt. Don't try to hold the vomit in. Use a sink or a bin. It tastes like shit but makes room so you can munt on sick cunt. I mind every day and night. The pay's not great but the work's alright. Settling just pays me so this way I stay sedated. Each 2 weeks a bag of weed, 5 good sacks and a block of cheese. Bang it down and hang around and wait for my next payment.
Thursday comes, so we'll grab a stick, a cask and a half a gram on tick. Point taken, point to right, and base it out of a broken pipe. Coming down on a bag of chop on the northern line as a doctor shot with a healthcare card of a friend of mine. Don't fare well in the welfare line. Got the shakes and he's pale and sick and it's been 2 days and he's trying to keep on my case and he's fucking stressed. The cotton's down to his dying breath. Ain't no way staying laced for days when you're taking all of your takeaways. And you got no choice but steal and rob. Munting on is a full-time job. Going hard and I'm on that cars, dumping pills till I vomit blood. Wake up drunk and I dump more pills, fuck doctors man, I keeps it real. Bombing trains with hell sick graph, being hell fucking sick of raps. Never fail when I make it tracks, whether on my arms or pressed on wax. Cop 4 sticks and I blaze them up, drop more bricks in a tradie can. Monday comes, you're sick and sad, just get some bickies up your lad.
Welcome to the hall of the Munting Kings. Come on in, skull a drink. We're the kings of munting and we order you to munt. Don't try to hold the vomit in. Use a sink or a bin. It tastes like shit but makes room so you can munt on sick cunt. I munt every day and night. The pay's not great but the work's alright. Settling just pays me so this way I stay sedated. Each 2 weeks a bag of weed, 5 good sacks and a block of cheese. Bang it down and hang around and wait for my next payment.
Cheeky putts on the 428. If I don't want to come down, can't afford to wait. My default is an altered state, paid bored by Ford, extorted state. And never get caught for the laws I break. Never get bored when there's more to take. Never paying for your daughter's abortion mate. Letting her meet me was your mistake.
We be rolling dumpers in the gutter, staring up at the stars. Forever waking up in vomit, staring up at the bar. Or ghost busting for shards, chucking robotussing for laughs. Making bombs for ruts and crafts, I take my buckets in the bar.
Morphine for the bugs in my veins. Life's core theme is the munching game. Someday I'll put a slug in my brain and my dark fuck pays in a dumpster grave.
Sometimes I be waking up in trains, at bus stops and in the back lanes. Slumbering in the gutter, waking up by rain.
Some things will never change.
Welcome to the hall of the Munting Kings. Come on in, skull a drink. We're the kings of munting and we order you to munt. Don't try to hold the vomit in. Use a sink or a bin. It tastes like shit but makes room so you can munt on sick cunt. I munt every day and night. The pay's not great but the work's alright. Settling just pays me so this way I stay sedated. Each 2 weeks a bag of weed, 5 good sacks and a block of cheese. Bang it down and hang around and wait for my next payment.
Alright, guys, I wanted another smoke check, so we're going longer.
Anger is like herpes. You're not meant to keep it to yourself.
Tonum est hominus.
Fuck ups, dubs and diabetes, slow smoke, meth, take pills and get off your jobs. Act like a dick for me, get mad props. Blast punk, rock, hardcore and hip hop.
Fuck a millionaire, I'm still a militant anarchist. The venue keeps the door, I still write her off on damages. I rem government boxes from a bash ripped on a laptop, rocking do-rags and a goonbag smoking crack rocks in a black block. Back in Tassie with bags stacked with some mazepam to fuck the kids harder than passes back in the Vatican, still sparking the shards. We step out of the van back with 2 cans of flat black stashed in my backpack. Up on smokestacks with reloads and a ghost cap. This art is fucking dying and it's time to take the throne back before we're done and our careers are blowing over. Just to do a show for once where we fuck over the promoter or the posers. Put music in an economic context. Play the part of frontman with a messianic complex. Endearing Aussie accent. Punk rock back in band. Mix hijack the bandwagon. Trade it for a packing van. The gear stack it in and back up on the mattress. We do a lot of work for unprofessional drug addicts. So fuck your condescension. Your careers are so important. To put us on your bill. We book our own shows when we're touring. Make the music that we want to. Even if it doesn't pay off. Shows up on a weekly and we keep our fucking day jobs. Could never pay my rent off the music that I sold you, but I still murder your whole crew while I'm rolling through the dole queue.
Dubs and diabetes, slop, smoke, meth, take pills and get off your jobs. Act like a dick for me, get mad props. Blast punk, rock, hardcore and hip hop.
I like to hide under a jumper, rolling up 100 dumpers. Never one to be succumbing to the hunger. There's always another dumpster. One man's trash can be another fella's treasure. With the trash of 7 billion, fuck, I'm living in leisure. It's a pleasure whether I be in the park sipping a goon sack or getting stoned alone at home with headphones pumping 2-pack, rocking punk rock on a stage or spitting lyrics in a mic. Making mediocre music's what I do with my life.
Jippy jippy ah, jippy oh, jippy yay. Give me the mic so I can take it away. We slay a toy faking boy, this is point taken. We came to change the game in the name of my boy Satan.
Pay your tax, cause that's how I get my salary. You can tell my beats are fat before you've counted the calories. The fallacy of life's that we all ask what it's for, when in reality it never had a meaning at all.
Fuck ups, dubs and diabetes, slop, smoke, meth, take pills and get off your jobs. Act like a dick for me, get mad props. Blast punk, rock, hardcore and hip hop.
One more.
Cause you can't find nothing at all. There was nothing there all along. No, you can't find nothing at all. There was nothing there all along. treacherous streets with kids strung out on homemade speed, and we shared a bed in which I could not sleep at all. Cause that night, the sun in the tree made the skyline look like crooked teeth in the mouth of a man who was devouring us both. You're so cute when you're serving your speech, but they're closing the bar and they want us to leave, and you can't find it at all. There was nothing there all along. No, you can't find it at all. There was nothing there all along.
Let's just play the first one.
Finding time to give up on things that I wanna be. Staying up late listening to Drake unironically. Leave the house clean and stumble home in a stupor. Obviously blinded by the brightness of my future. These grandiose delusions got me feeling like the one again. Never bothered checking if the money's even coming in. Old jackets, old shoes and old postcards. It's a big, big world when you try to live on both halves. Remember when you took a photo so you don't forget? You're still forgotten, neither one of us is sober yet. I never hold on, I try and cling to the moment. I just own it and I'm home. By the time I realize I'm lonely, I'm getting over fucking around like it's a cool thing. Been a harsh winter and it's coming to a cruel spring. It's like warm nights, fair weather for a cesspit. Ill-defined by time and the measures of a friendship. I'm getting over wasting time like it's a good thing, and trying to be the type to cater based on what you could think. My reputation's pretty bad, the truth's probably worse. If you're a little underwhelmed, you're probably not the first. If you want something else, we probably get along. Third eye's blind, I'm not the type to get a message from. Never really had the insight to take advice. Your greatest graces all are wasted on these vacant eyes. With a virgin, everybody took a different ride. And I'm so starved for affection, but I got my pride in my prime, so they say I gotta get it right. On the first try, I swear I sweated almost every night. Hate this feeling, I hate this drink. Hate the way it makes me think. Makes me think too much, it makes me think. Makes me think we must be wasted when we say these things. Life's like that. Who am I to be critical? With that look in your eye, so fucked up and clinical, and your tongue tied in riddles. It's no wonder you deny that you feel it too. But tonight I'm just feeling you. You're not the type to make a lie too believable. There's no evil in your eyes, I can see in you. There's no pretense, either one of us will see it through. There's no need to be true, just be when it's me and you. Just be when it's me and you. Just be when it's me and you.
Chat, I'm gonna have to go sort a few things out. So I think we're gonna actually raid out now. I might, depending on how things go, this might be the day that I do actually come back for a weird, late stream. Oh, what's this? I do not know the band name. Excuse me. I'll have a look at that when I've got it opened. Thank you for hanging out, guys. I might, yeah. Because I'm looking after my mate's place, I've got to go sort a few things out and all that. Have I got any? I've got a tiny bit of dope. Let's Let's have one last smoke for this song.
Melbourne ain't sweet and cunts is just toffee. 1980 for 2 pints, or maybe use 2, just need coffee. With this many coffee shots, I swear it's wasted on you lot. 2 pints, darling, that's more than the rest of what I've got, and that's
because some of you will end up going to bed and all the rest of it, and I might not catch you later on. So we'll get in one last little smoke check.
Water with a head kept above the high tide. 1984 for 2 pints of house beer.
We're gonna raid out to Iron Gulf, I think. Yeah, fucking what, mate?
What's a strange place, mate? Have you got the time? Having a very strange time. On me, on mine. My word. I mean, fucking how dear. It's now middle winter and 10 minutes of raining. Darling, Melbourne ain't bitter. Melbourne ain't bitter. It's simply complaining. I get sore when I get to yours. When your empty couch sat outside next to the door. Don't shake my hand so much. Broke my finger. It's fucking sore.
I'm nearly sorted. Catching up with you, chat. I'm nearly sorted. Just a little bit more chopping and then I'm done. All I've done for the last fucking 20 minutes is smoke pot.
Main strips filled with a billion shops, selling clothes donated at triple cost. Artists starve and the market's pop, chilling lattes, tapas and agua shots. Middle class charted and carved their plots, packing artsy charm in a cardboard box.
Awesome, Kira. I'll get onto that today. Fingers crossed you should at least get the restock today, you know? Whatever today means, might be morning for you. I'll check the time. Yeah, so in your morning you should have at least the restock available, fingers crossed.
Chilling in the fallout of a violent invasion. The city where I'm living was the first place taken.
I'll reread the message again though, and if the fabrication one's more urgent, I'll...
A giant penitentiary, but memories of penury end. Our new identities are modern, commodified, homogenized hegemony. An urban jungle run on money by perfidious suits. Some with cement to cover hideous roots. Where the British started wiping out traditional owners. Now they're back here on gap years for melanomas. Getting gentrified, I'm getting gently fried. Where the gentry fly through their empty lives. I'm being pushed out west with the rest of the poor, but still paying more rent than ever before. Keeping hobos down to bring your dope around, cause there's popo hounds, dogs with pigs at the end of their leads, keeping streets safe and creepers privates of weed, packed to the rafters with affluent bastards. I can't find a beer that isn't handcrafted, and even if I could, there's nowhere to drink. The pub's packed to capacity with guppies and dinks.
Smoke them if you got them. It's your last call for drinks, chat.
No more beggars and no more benefits. No more parties, no more derelicts. Just the best fair trade blends and the best eggs Benedicts. The bands here, they don't play too loud. You always wake up feeling rested. The pubs are like
Thank you again, guys. No, thank you, Avon Emily.
and the artists generally.
Thank you all, and especially thank Avon Emily. Yeah, fucking what, mate? Have a good night, guys.